If you want to hear what it's like for a foster parent, like real life, real experience, you're in the right place. Sit tight. If I had to describe foster care to someone who was interested in becoming a foster home, here is a way I would describe it to them. It's kind of like you are the defensive line, but you're the overeager defensive line on the JV team going up against the star-studded school, and you're going against their varsity team. And you get down, the D-line gets down, you're in your three-point stance, you're ready to go. And that ball snaps, and you take off after that O-line, and that lineman just flat lays you out. I mean, you go after him with all you've got, and he shoves you down, and you fall flat on your behind. And it's like you hit a wall. That's what being a foster parent's like every single day. You see, just like this defensive lineman, he went to practice day in and day out. He felt like he was getting better. He was making progress. Things were moving forward. The people around him were in good spirits. The morale was rising every day. But on game day, it all came crashing down. And that's the reality for foster care. That's the reality for these kids. I'll share a story that recently happened to us. Well, I can't say happened to us because it didn't happen to us. It happened to the child. Things were going good. We had some breakthroughs with some conversations. Some walls were coming down, and we were so excited. And it was a teenager, and she was getting so used to kind of a new normal, and she was starting to talk a little more. Her conversations were becoming a little more open and vulnerable, and she was working through some emotional hurts that she had in her life by first acknowledging it. And we were celebrating those wins. The very next day, we had a visit from the social worker. And if you've ever talked to a foster family, you know that visits from a social worker, which we call home visits, can be tough. Sometimes they're just check off the boxes. How's everybody doing? Okay, cool. But sometimes they come with updates. And this particular one came with a very hard pill to swallow update. And the social worker came in, and things are good. Things are good. And the teen is talkative, and things are good. The social worker says, within the first 5 minutes of being in our house, I have some news that I need to share with you guys. She shared the news, and we watched this teen go from all this progress, all this hard work. The morale was coming up, working through stuff, getting better every single day, to knocked flat on her back again. And she just shut down. And as foster parents, we feel hopeless. We feel helpless. There's nothing we can do. These are situations where the worker's come into your house and tells you what the state's going to do, and you're just there. And that's the reality. Because when the social worker leaves, it's like you're starting all over again. It's like that defensive lineman going back to his first practice after that tough loss against the much better, much stronger, much faster team. He shows up at practice and he says, I don't think I want to do this. Completely discouraged, shut down. And the teenagers in foster care go through the same thing over and over and over. But listen, as a foster parent, our responsibility is to help this child get back up and run back at that wall, because eventually that wall is going to come down, and eventually that wall is going to stay down. Listen, all foster care stories don't have a happy ending. They don't. Let's be real. But there is hope, and you do play a role as a foster parent. You are more than a glorified babysitter. You can encourage these kids to put one foot in front of the other and to seek what it is that is their purpose for their life, and not just feel like a puppet being controlled by the state. Although the state's going to determine what needs to happen at the end of the day, these kids still need to find their own path, because we are all created for a purpose, and you need to help them find that divine purpose and their divine calling if they will allow you. Keep getting back up. Keep encouraging this child to get back up. Keep running after those walls.